Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Coach Carrie, and in today's video we are going to do a wellness office type spread in my wellness book, and this was for the week of the 12th to the 18th. I didn't do this week, and then I remember I had this, so I'm actually going to back plan. And it's really great that I got these Live Love Posh Office Chic sticker book, because I was on disability. I was on short-term disability, and I actually went back to work on the 13th of August. So that week of the 13th, I went back to the office, so my mindset was different. And I thought like this spread would be really cutesy for me returning back to work, very demure and very mindful of myself, to actually use Jules's, commentary to just go ahead and talk about this week. And I'll also talk about my short-term disability. I am a high functioning person who functions well under very heavy stress. I work in corporate America. I've been in corporate America for over 25 years, and I am in the finance and accounting space. And so I tend to, and I'm in the leadership role, so I tend to have a lot of things going on throughout the day. I have tons and tons of meetings. I'm in a lot of calls. I'm on a lot of projects. I'm on lots of, decision making, that kind of thing. And so burnout is real, and it really, if you've never experienced burnout before, sometimes you don't recognize it. And so I had to be very mindful that I could notice it. It started to take a toll on me. So in July, I had gotten really, really sick. I'm also diabetic, and, I'm on insulin, and I'm also on Mounjaro for diabetes. And so I was going through a lot with like the insurance company, trying to get insulin, the shortage, and my body was pretty much breaking down on its own. It wasn't allowing me to, really take time to like help myself, like balance out my sugar levels or anything like that. And so it got to be very overwhelming. I do go to therapy every 2 weeks. I see my therapist. I've been seeing the same therapist now for about over 7 years. And so it was so bad that day, and I never forget it. July 12th is when I literally went and called my disability, the benefits people, and was like, how do I apply for FMLA and short-term disability? Because I need a break. I need to take some time for myself and my health, because I was really worn out and exhausted. My numbers were dropping. At one point, my numbers started to go up really, really high. And so instantly, because of my diagnosis with diabetes, the FMLA pushed me straight through to a nurse so they could start the case right away. So I officially went on leave on August 15th, but I was out on the 12th because I wasn't feeling well. I took a half day on the 11th. I went to therapy. I literally left my house and went to therapy in person after so long. And she was like, you are depressed. She's like, I was afraid that you were going to be getting burned out, and so it's time for you to take a break. And if I didn't listen to her and heed to what she recognized after after seeing me and treating me for so long, she recognized the signs, and she's like, I haven't seen this part of you in so long that, you need a break and you need to take care of yourself. And so that's what I did. I ended up going ahead and taking the leave. Now, years ago, I would have never done that, because at some point in time, years ago, I always used to feel like I am disappointing others if I don't take the time to, if I take time for myself. I always feel like I am letting somebody down because I'm not there to help them. And I was kind of on the fence with this one because, like I said, I play a major role in my company. And so not being there was like, I started to think about their needs more than mine. And then I realized, like, no, I cannot do this because the way I am feeling, like I would literally get up and come to my office 2 minutes before I started my workday. And that wasn't me. I love a morning routine. I love to know that I can get up, I can go in my garden, I can go out and put the dog out, I can feed the cats, I can just sit on my back porch and just enjoy a cup of coffee before I start my workday. And I wasn't doing that. I wasn't playing music, I wasn't doing anything, but I found myself like contracting into myself. And so I felt like I needed a break. With all that said, I took the break. Was the break really worthy of it? Yes, it was. It was the best month ever because one, I started to really rebuild the value of myself. I started to understand like where I fit in, my worth. I also started to understand priorities, boundaries, a little bit more, the things that I set. I have to stick to them. I have to be very mindful about how I'm treating myself, how I'm speaking to myself, and how I'm allowing other people to treat me, especially at the office, because I experience a lot of microaggression in the office. And as much as I'm at home and I'm not in the face-to-face with them, I still get anxiety when I have to talk to specific people that I don't feel like there's this connection or teamwork with. I took this time to focus on planning. Out of that time came this channel. I stopped vlogging. I stopped doing hair content. And then I just was like, oh, you know what? I really need to release all that is in me, all these thoughts. I need to really organize and really push through to get to where I want to get to the other side and what the goal is. And so planning kind of helps me feel connected to this month that I was off. That the week before I had to go back, and actually on the 12th I went to see the doctor so she could release me to go back to work. And she actually said to me, it would be nice if you could find another job that is not so stressful, that you can really focus on your health the way that I know you can. She said, because this month you've been off, I can see some differences, but you're still not fully there. And so I would like for you to really take this opportunity to figure out what your plans are, especially when it comes to your health, because this is a long-term thing. This is not short-term. My diabetes isn't going away. Mine is actually genetic. It's based off of genetics. I took a test and I had to realize my body's making insulin, but it's still going through not being able to control the insulin the way it normally works. And so even though I've lost weight on my own, I've dieted, I've exercised, and I had a routine, I was still getting high A1C levels. And that's why we had to do a C-peptide test to find out what's really going on. So my goal while I was out was to really take care of myself. And I did. I got up in the morning. I did my morning routines. I sat down. I plotted. I planned. I blogged. I wrote my blog. And I'm going to leave the blog in the description bar below because it's geared towards my life coaching journey and me talking about different types of things that people would want to know about when it comes to changing their mindset and overall wellness. And then you get to peek in a little bit in some areas of my life on that blog. So with that being said, this spread was born. This spread was born because during that week I went back to work. I did feel a little anxiety right up until the 12th. But once I left the doctor's office and I kind of went on a really long walk, I went over to the Ross and the Marshall area, and I just walked around for about 2 hours and just talked to one of my old coworkers from another job, and we just kind of caught up and, things like that. And then I sat there and I realized that when I go back to work on the 13th, that I was going to stick to my routine. No matter what. One of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to make sure that my lunch hour was from 11:30 to 12:30. I didn't want to compromise on that because one, I do take medication and I have to eat at a certain time, and just so my food can, digest and all that stuff. I also have to prepare my food. So a lot of that I didn't want to compromise on. So that's what I did. I came back and I set my calendar to be busy at 11:30, and I make myself do it. What was recommended to me by my doctor is I need to take frequent breaks. I need to be getting up frequently. And so I started going back on my walks. I started at like around 10 o'clock, I would go on my walk. Sometimes if I have a meeting, I would go to the meeting first and then go on the walk in between. Like today, I have a 10:30 meeting, but I will go on my walk about 9:45 so that I can have at least a 20-minute walk. I'll do 15 minutes saying I'm away, but I do a 20-minute walk because I have my cell phone. I'm connected to my internet for my job. So if anybody needs me, I can check emails and stuff from my cell phone. I try not to do that as much either. So that's something that I don't compromise. But I don't stay past 4:30 anymore. 4:30 is my cutoff time. If I feel like staying after 4:30, that's going to be a choice that I want to make, but I'm not going to do it every day. I looked at how my priorities are for the week, the work week, and the work month. And the days that I'm usually busy is the first week of the month and the last week of the month. And so I do not want to do that. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I can't wait to see you guys again.